Hello world, welcome back to Razor RC. It's time to do another upgrade video for my Arrma Kraton 4S. This will also apply to the Outcast, and a lot of the modifications will also apply to the 3S line, the Granite, Sentin, Typhon, and Big Rock Crew Cab. But I thought I'd concentrate on the Arrma Kraton today. So I've had this truck for about 4 to 6 months now. I can't remember exactly when I got it, but it's a really good truck. Pretty happy with it overall. Definitely a lot of fun, but it does have a few weaknesses I thought it needed addressing, so I just want to cover those real quick. So these are the 5 most important upgrades I felt I did to my Arrma Kraton 4S, and so yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing that's most important to do is actually change out all the bearings. The bearings come with these metal shielded bearings that really don't keep out the dirt, don't keep out the water, tend to break down pretty fast and get really gritty and sometimes seize up actually fairly quickly. So also in the steering rack, it also comes with like these little bronze bushings or oil light bushings. Just are not very smooth at all, and definitely switching out to bearings will give you a lot smoother steering, a lot less resistance, and improve it overall. These also tend to kind of wear out the plastics and actually provide a lot of resistance as they start sort of wearing down. So definitely change those out. That's upgrade number 1 that I recommend. I actually picked up bearings from Jim's Bearings. If you pick up different bearing kits, you'll want to make sure that it comes with the steering bearings. A lot of them do not. Jim's Bearings comes with actually more bearings than you need. It even comes with like motor bearings. There's a slipper bearing that you don't actually have to switch out. I think it's fine to use the stock one, but everything else you want to change out. So that's upgrade number 1. Second upgrade I recommend is actually to swap out the motor mount. So this is the stock piece. It's a cast aluminum sort of fixed position motor mount. As you can see, it's actually bent a little bit, and so the problem with I hammered it down, but it's still not completely straight. But the problem with the stock motor plate is that it bends too easily. This was fine on the 3S line, but once they moved to the 4S line, they still kept this motor mount. But the problem is this motor is a little bit too heavy for this, so it actually bends reasonably easily, especially as compared to the 3S line. So Arrma actually makes a billet aluminum motor mount, which is a lot stronger. It's also adjustable, so you can pick different pinion sizes, and actually you can also get your gear mesh a lot better. So another problem with this truck is that the gear mesh was way too tight between the pinion and the spur gear. And so what ends up happening, actually, the spur gear is pressing against the pinion gear way too much, putting a lot of load on the motor itself, and actually the motor bearing tends to go out a lot more quickly than it should on this kit. So a lot of people end up with bad motor bearings. Part of it's just from dirt getting inside, but another part is just that the gear mesh is too tight. So getting the adjustable motor plate is highly recommended. You'll be able to set your gear mesh correctly, and it'll be a lot stronger piece. Hot Racing also makes one, but I recommend the Arrma one just because the Hot Racing one actually has these little cutouts, so it actually weakens the motor plate a little bit. So yeah, that's my recommendation for number 2. Okay, the third upgrade I highly recommend is to swap out the servo saver. So this is the stock servo saver. It's the one that's also on the 3S line. Just a little plastic piece. It does not have a whole lot of spring tension. It's okay on the 3S line, but on the 4S line, when you're going a lot faster, you got much bigger tires and wheels, a lot more weight on the steering. This is, I found, just to be way too weak. It's just too flexible, too easy to turn, and so it actually affects your steering, actually makes it harder to make corners and stuff. So I recommend getting rid of this. And actually Kimbrough makes a bunch of different servo savers, and they make their large servo savers in 2 variations. There's this one, the white one, which is their regular strength one, I guess they call it. Then they also make a black one that I've got mounted on my Arrma Kraton here, and so that's just a little bit stiffer than the stock piece. It helps you keep the steering and helps keep your alignment and cornering a lot better, a lot more consistent. So I recommend swapping it out. You will have to make a little bit of modifications. This comes with like a sort of a rectangle up top, and so you got to cut like sort of a triangle here to get to clear underneath on the steering. And you also have to drill out this hole to like a 2.5 millimeter hole. It comes with these tiny little holes, and to get a 3 millimeter screw through there, you will have to drill that a little bit and put a little nut on the other side. So that's definitely a good upgrade. Upgrade number 4 I recommend for the Arrma Kraton is to swap out the wheels and tires. So it comes with these stock Minakawa tires. They're actually not that bad, you know, on any sort of flat or you know, dirt or pavement and stuff. It actually works reasonably well, but if you want to run in like grass or more rocky terrain, I do recommend upgrading the tires. I'm actually running the Outcast wheels and tires, so these will fit, of course. These are from the Outcast 4S, bolt right on, same offset, everything. Really good set of tires, nice sort of all-terrain tires. Also work well in loose dirt. And so, yeah, definitely a welcome upgrade. You can also get something like Backflips by D-Boots, or you could get something like Badlands from Proline or Trenchers, that kind of thing. So some sort of tire upgrade will make a big difference. These Outcast ones are pretty good and not that expensive overall. So that's upgrade number 4. Better tires will get you more traction on rougher terrain. The Minakawas are okay. They're not horrible, but definitely could be a lot better. So anyways, that's upgrade number 4. And the last upgrade I recommend is to swap out the radio. So this is the stock radio, the STX2 by Spectrum. It's a cheap radio, there's no doubt about it. It's got the hard wheel, pretty limited range on this, not the most precise or consistent radio on the market today. Unfortunately, this, you know, the Arrmas used to come with a really nice radio, the TTX 300, and they sort of downgraded to the Spectrum, which, you know, is not great. It's not horrible, but I do recommend swapping that out. I think it is worth changing it. So there's a lot of different radios on the market, of course. My pick probably for something like this is the FlySky FS-GT5. Actually a really good radio, not horribly expensive. It's about $70 or less online. You can pick this up from Banggood or whatever. But yeah, really good radio overall. And it's not so much that the latency or the performance that's really horrible on the STX2, but one big thing that will make a huge difference is this, EPA. So EPA is endpoint adjustment. The stock radio does not have that. Stock radio has only what they call steering rate, which is basically steering dual rate. And the problem with steering dual rate is that it only adjusts your steering both at the same time. So your left, right always has to come in together or go out together. You can't adjust them independently. So you gotta set your steering rate so that when you turn full left or full right or whatever, you're not overextending the servo and straining it. You'll actually hear the servo whining a little bit, and you'll see the servo saver kind of give a little bit once you've hit that limit, full left or full right. What endpoint allows you to do is actually adjust them independently. So maybe full left you can go, I don't know, 30 degrees, and then full right you can go like 33 degrees or something. So you can adjust those independently, get your maximum steering throw on both sides, and you actually notice a big difference actually cornering because you're getting full and maximum steering travel. So something like this, FlySky, you could get a Sanwa, Spectrum, you know, DX5C or whatever you want, but some sort of radio upgrade definitely makes a big difference and it's highly recommended. So yeah, that's pretty much it. My recommended upgrades for the Arrma Kraton 4S also applies to the Outcast 4S. A lot of these will also apply to the 3S as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the add notifications button, and look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.